Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be taking you guys through a dimensional blonding service. My client has natural level 6 hair and some grown out highlights, and we're just going to be adding some teasy lights into her regrowth to break things up using Wella Blondor and 10 Vol. We're going to be starting with 4 sections down the side, down the center of the back, and then I'll be clipping away a triangle section on top. And if you see that bleach stain on my sleeve, no you don't. I'll be starting the highlights going from the bottom up, and here you can see I've already completed the right side, but everything that I'm doing on this side is what I did on the right side. My foil pattern is going to be 1/4 inch sections that are teased and weaved, and then I will be leaving about a 1/2 inch of natural hair in between every foil, and I'll just be doing this all the way to the top. Just giving you a close-up on my pickup here. It's a pretty fine weave, and I just tease a little bit. Then I'm placing my lightener down about 2 inches away from the scalp. That's where my heaviest saturation is going to be, and then I'll feather up into the top. While I'm working through these foils, I'm going to make sure that I am taking anything that is really light completely out, and anything that needs to be bumped up just a little bit, I'm sweeping super gently over just to give it a little bit of a lift, but I'm not using heavy saturation at all. Not everybody is a great candidate for this, so just keep in mind the integrity of the hair and trust your gut on what you think it can withstand. As I'm working my way up this section, I'll start to change my subsections to become diagonal back so that I meet up with that part line that creates that triangle parting on the top. Starting on our top section, I'm just going to be repeating the exact same foil pattern to complete the back of the head. If you watched my last video, this sectioning in the front is going to be really similar to that, aside from the very front pieces that would be considered the money piece. So we're just doing some back-to-back baby light weaves around the natural hairline. This is going to give her a bit of a pop in the front, and then when I'm starting to work through the interior, I'm just going to leave quite a bit of it out because she has a lot of pre-existing blonde, and I want a lot of that depth in there to act as her low light and pop the blonde that lies on top. If she was somebody who didn't have a lot of pre-existing blonde, I would probably just do tip outs in the interior section that's behind the front foils rather than doing baby lights all the way to the root, and this would just give us a similar look that we're going for today. Here I'm just connecting those front money pieces into the hairline in the back, and this is also going to give her some dimension when she pulls up her hair into a pony, and then I'm going to be connecting that foil to the foils that are already placed in the front. And then we will be doing the exact same pattern on the other side. just placing a foil on the part line of the mohawk section, and this is just going to keep everything really mapped out for me and neat when I go to foil that. The foil pattern we're doing for the money piece is going to be 2 slices and 2 weaves all back to back for a total of 4 foils in the front. As we know, the hairs around the hairline are a little more fragile, so I'm going to be pulling all of the light hairs out and keeping them completely out of the foil. If I'm wanting any to be bumped up, I'll pull my foils at the sink and I'll just run some of that lightener through the ends for just a couple minutes. For these top sections, I'm going to be taking about 1/8 of an inch subsections and weaving them, and then I'm just kind of brushing up any of the little baby hairs rather than doing a full tease. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with a really tiny section, and they're already quite small. And for my pattern today, I'm taking equal amounts of depth and pushing them up and then taking another section. So her natural is going to act as her low light, and I'm just making sure that everything is very equally placed all the way till I get to that foil that I had initially placed, starting the mohawk section. The reason I like to work from the top to the bottom here is because those top foils seem to take a little bit longer to process, and the bottom ones get more heat from the top foils laying over them. So I just find it's helpful with processing. As I finish up my last foil here, I will check the time and start to pull some of those back ones out, and then the rest will sit for up to an hour longer. For the root melt, we're mixing up equal parts 6 and 7V, and I'm gonna be bringing the root melt down a little bit lower on this one. So I like to just kind of etch out like a teardrop section, starting higher in the front and coming down low in the back. And then once I have this all kind of placed in there how I like it, I'll go in and start to split the hair into sections. So I'm going to start in the 2 front quadrants, and I'm taking diagonal back sections here, and I'm just tapping down the color exactly where the dark is meeting the light. So you don't necessarily have to be going over the roots all the time, but right where those highlights start, you want to tap. And as I get closer to the hairline, I don't go as far back because I want to keep it bright around her face. You want to get a good amount of product on here and make sure that you're not making any splotches or missing any pieces. And this way you'll have a good amount to drag down afterwards when you go to do the comb through. We want the face frame to pop, so we're going to leave those out for now, and once we're done applying the back and doing our comb through, we'll hit those with a little bit of the product that's left over. So here I'm just tapping along the part line where those highlights meet it, and then I'm just going to take subsections and tap along that, but I'm doing a really gentle tap, and then I'm combing kind of back and forwards just to get a really good blend on these guys. I know some of you are asking how long do I process the root melt for, and I would start the timer for 20 minutes after I had applied all of the color before I started combing. We're going to be toning today with equal parts 9N and 10GI. I have the money piece clipped up and out of the way just because we want to hit that last. So here we're just toning the underneath, and then we will bring that money piece back right away. And everything in total will sit for about 5 to 15 minutes, and then we'll blow dry and style. And here is us loving the results. Make sure to drop any questions below and hit subscribe if you like these videos. And thanks for watching.